Hello, welcome to Retrocore, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Easy Flash Junior. Let's check it out. So here we have the Easy Flash Junior, and we're going to put it up against its rival, the EverDrive GB X5. Now I know this is an X3, but I don't have an X5, so we're going to use the X3 as a comparison. Now as you can see, both of them have the exact same casing on them. There's no difference at all apart from the shade of translucency. The quirks one is slightly darker, while the Easy Flash is pretty much transparent. Let's take a look inside and see how different the Easy Flash and the EverDrive GB X3 actually are. So taking a look inside, you can see that they both have the exact same reset buttons. Kind of interesting. And the layout is very similar, but not the same. Now the Easy Flash does have a replaceable battery. The X3 doesn't, but I believe the X5 does. You can also see we've got a couple of extra modules up here on the Easy Flash. But what are the differences between these two cartridges? Well, let's take a look. So as you can see, they both have the exact same max ROM size, max save RAM size, and compatible with all GB and GB color systems. However, they do have some differences. The Easy Flash is apparently compatible with backlit mods and rechargeable batteries, whereas the EverDrive doesn't mention this. Also, notice that the Easy Flash Junior has more mappers than the EverDrive. The Easy Flash also has a real-time clock and is Little Sound DJ supported. However, the EverDrive GB X3 and X5 do feature Game Genie cheat codes, which the Easy Flash does not. Now when you first get the Easy Flash, you have to install the firmware, otherwise it's not going to do anything. So you need to go to the official Easy Flash website as shown here. Go to the product, in this case the Easy Flash Junior, and download the correct firmware. As you can see, I've already downloaded the firmware, but I'm just going through the motions again just to show you what to do. Now the firmware is compressed, so you need to uncompress it. I'm using WinRAR, which is free. And what you want to do is grab the EasyGB DAT file and transfer that over to the root of your SD card. Also make sure that your SD card is flashed to FAT32, otherwise you're going to have some problems. The Easy Flash Junior supports from 4GB to 32GB SD cards. Now that may not sound like a lot, but 32GB for the entire Game Boy library is overkill. You don't even need half of that. So once you've copied all your ROMs over, just safely remove your SD card and stick it into the flash cartridge. Now I noticed a strange quirk when using this device on a Super Game Boy 2 and a Super Game Boy. When you switch it on, nothing seems to happen. And at first I thought it was broken, but then I realized you have to press the reset button on the cartridge. Like this. Now you don't have to do this on a normal Game Boy, by the way, only on the Super Game Boy. Okay, and then you press it once more after the Super Game Boy logo appears, and the Easy Flash will boot. I'm not sure why it does this, but it does. So I just thought I'd better make you aware of that. As you can see, here we are with a direct link up to the screen, and you can see we've got a couple of options at the top. We've got the SD card menu and set. This is where you set your real-time clock, and help just tells you what firmware you're running. Now the Easy Flash also offers instant loading. Basically what that means is you can return to the previous game that you had running on this device. In this case, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So you don't have to go into the menus and load it from the SD card. It's saved in the actual memory of the Easy Flash. And as you can see, it works perfectly fine. Now while the Easy Flash is capable of running Game Boy Color games, they are not going to work here on a Super Game Boy 2 because the Super Game Boy 2 cannot run Game Boy Color games, but as you can see it is booting it up. Unfortunately you get a message saying it can't be played, and that's not a fault of the flash card, that's a fault of the Super Game Boy 2. Plug it into a Game Boy Color and you've got no worries. Here you can see we've got Snow Brothers Jr. running, no problem. And Samurai Showdown as well. Absolutely no problem at all. But what about games that use backup saves? Well, let's take a look at this and we'll do a bit of a backup save and see what happens. So we'll play the game as normal and we save as normal. So here we go, going into save, and we'll just overwrite my previous save, and that's that. Now to make sure that save works, you just basically reset the game cartridge, go back to the Easy Flash menu, and you get this option here where it says backup save. B for no, A for OK. Press A and it saves your data. Now this does take an awful long time, and to be honest I've edited that out because it took about a minute to save. But once it's done you can see we have the name of the save in the save menu. But can you save other games as well without overwriting previous saves of different games? Sure you can. So here we'll take a look at the actual process for saving and what you basically have to do by pressing the button on the cartridge. So here we go, we just saved in this Final Fantasy game. We'll press the button on the cartridge, we go back to the Easy Flash menu, you press A on the controller to save, and it's saving away. Again, I'm going to edit this out because it took about a minute to save. Alright, so now that it's saved, we'll go into the save folder, and as you can see, we've got the 2 game saves there. Now it doesn't matter when you load these back up or how you load these back up, each save is separate, so you can save hundreds of different games and the save data is stored onto the SD card. You don't have to worry about saves from different games overriding previous games. As you can see, we're going back to the first game we saved here and the save data is perfectly fine. So that is the Easy Flash Jr., the budget model of the Easy Flash Game Boy range. Now it is a similar price to the EverDrive GB-X5. And it does feature more options, such as the real-time clock and more mappers. But it is missing the ability to add Game Genie cheats. So you have to decide what do you want, real-time clock, Game Genie cheats, yeah, it's up to you, you figured out which one you want. But as far as the functionality goes on this cartridge, I had no problems whatsoever, apart from when using it on a Super Game Boy, you gotta press the reset button twice. But besides that, it works like a dream, even on a regular Game Boy, no problems whatsoever. So I'm going to put a link in the video description down below, check it out if you're interested, and I'll see you next time in the next Retrocore. Until then guys, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. See ya!